Hello, my name's Hannah Frankson.
My name is Carlos Gonzalez.
My name's Faith Manriquez.
Throughout our Bishop community, we have came across three great role models that we look up to. Their names are Sage Romero,
Kathy Chandler.
And Earl Lent.
our first guest is Sage Romero.
Pleasure.
Hi, Sage.
Mono Uu.
Okay, I want to ask you one question. Who was your role model when you were younger and why?
When I was younger, I believe my role model would have been my father because he was always there for us. He worked very hard. He worked a job that kept him away at nights, evening time, but he'd always be home like in the afternoon to watch me after I got out of school and stuff. And of course, his tribe is the Taos Pueblo, so we learned a lot by going back and visiting his family and spending time with that side of our tribal nations. My mother's Paiute. And it kind of gave me a big perspective because I've seen a real strong traditional tribal lifestyle with my Taos side, and then I saw a more humble little style with the Paiute, not humble in a bad way, meaning we were very humble in our ways that we believed and the ways that we lived. And it was a good contrast because it made me see the bigger picture. And I believe I got that from my dad, and just seeing him work and constantly be outside in the yard, constantly doing something. He never just sat back and relaxed. He's always doing something.
Thank you very much.
And our next guest is Earl Lent. Hi.
Hi.
You can have a seat.
Oh, thank you.
So, what characteristics do you find important in a positive role model?
Well, I think characteristics that make a good role model, first of all, you have to lead by example. If you plan on being a role model, you're going to want to do the things that role models do. You're not going to want to tell someone to do something and then you're out doing something else. So as far as like drinking and drugs, you don't want to have this second life where you're out drinking, partying, and then you come to work and you're telling kids how to act and how to behave when you're not doing it yourself. Other characteristics I think are just showing support to someone when they need it, being there for them when they need help, and being positive, showing someone that that just giving someone positive affirmations and helping them build themselves up instead of looking at little things that they're not doing right. So I think it's better to build someone up than it is to break them down, and I think those are good characteristics of a role model.
And our last guest today is Kathy Chandler. So, Kathy, what is a positive role model to you?
Carlos, to me, a positive role model is somebody that I can look up to, somebody that has a lot to offer me as far as wisdom, understanding, and guidance.
Okay, Sage, the last question I want to ask you is, how did the characteristics of your role model benefit you now?
I believe my father's characteristics range from his work ethic and also his, I don't know if it's a positive thing, but he kind of knows how to cover up pain. But I kind of learned that from him, because when you're in front of people or working with people, and sometimes, you're hurting or you're tired or something, it's kind of best to just work through it and deal with yourself later. I learned that from him, and it benefited me, especially as a dancer, as I used to dance all the time. You learn when you're sore or you have an injury, you have to do that performance or that presentation regardless of how you're feeling, because that's what they're expecting of you. And so I've kind of learned to mask pain just so that I could keep going, keep moving forward, keep working. And I think I got that from my father, and pretty grateful for it. It can be a negative thing too, because you're hiding like your pain or you're hurting or something, but you're still moving forward. It's not good for yourself because you should be able to let that stuff out. But I found it just to be best to just keep moving forward for the benefit of everyone around me. So it's kind of like sacrificing of yourself for others. I think that's what it is.
Thank you.
Okay, Earl, our last question is, how did characteristics of your role model benefit you now?
I think the characteristics of the role model that I looked up to benefited me in several different ways, but the one that stuck with me the most was just taking like people's criticism and using it as like a fuel to motivate you to work harder and not so much just prove them wrong, but prove it to yourself that you can accomplish what people are doubting you on. So I think that's what was a characteristic that I still use today, and I still like to tell people use that just take it and use it.
Okay, so the last question I wanted to ask you today is, how did the characteristic of your role model benefit you today?
The benefits that I feel that I have gotten from my role model is that I'm human and that I make mistakes as well as anybody else, and that we can learn from our mistakes and that they only make you stronger, and that sometimes you got to fail before you succeed, and that life is not to be taken for granted but appreciated. And I feel that it's a good quality to have. And also my role model taught me prayer and how to believe in something greater than myself, because a lot of times we think we're alone and we're not. And so my role model definitely has taught me how to pray and to believe in God. Thank you.
And now we have a special guest with us tonight, one of our own youth, Angel McGill.
Thank you for having me.
Glad to have you. Angel, I have one question to ask you. What characteristics do you find most important in a positive role model?
A positive role model to me is somebody who sets good goals and achieves them. Somebody who's spontaneous and authentic, and just somebody who's not afraid to go after their dreams and what they want in life.
Thank you for your time. By having these positive role models around us, it gives us positive aspects in life and teaches us to do better in the future.